For those of you watching the recording of this, it is 5 o'clock in the morning. Just when you have time to do this. It's just how it works. Mm-hmm. Technical difficulties. Invite. Let's see. We'll get it. Oh, and what was that? Hey, there we go. Can you hear me?
There you go.
Hey.
I had to go. It was weird. I hit accept and then it went into another box, but I found it.
Right. Yeah, I was going to send you another invite. That's what I was working on. Yay. Look at this. This is pretty cool.
There. 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
Exactly. That's the fun part.
All good?
Yeah. All right. Well, time's ticking, right? It always is. So 3 questions.
Yeah. And first time wearing the cool earned hoodie.
Look at that. First time?
Yes. Loving it.
Does it
Yes.
how does it fit?
Perfect. So true to the size.
Yay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it.
Sweet.
And I have a team of 2 of us that I'm keeping track of, and one is sticking with me and the other one did not. So I'm debating on if we all 3 of us start over, or if I just you're on the track of the first adventure, which is just completing the WODs at our own time.
Yeah.
Versus the 365. The other one's on a 365 with us.
Cool.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's journey is kind of different, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I definitely probably wouldn't jump into a 365 one right away.
Yeah.
Personally. I mean, that would, but the girl's very active and a stay-at-home mom and work. So she just adds this on to her workout.
Sure.
So it's working for her.
Yeah. That's awesome. I had a client yesterday who needs 30 days. He can't wrap his head around a year. You know,
Okay.
he just he started in November last year, and then, you know, things got busy around the holidays and stuff, and he just came back into it. And he's like, I just need a 30-day thing. He's like, the year long. I don't, it's not working. I'm like, good. That's why I created battle WODs. You know, like the first 30 days are the same as the 365 beginning. It's just at 30 days instead of all of them at once. And he's like, oh, well, I think I can do that. I'm like, good. Do that. So not everybody can think a year at a time, and that's why I created those. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Not everybody thinks like I do, where I'm already 100. You know what I mean? Like I'm already 100 years old.
That's what's important, is when they get there.
Yeah.
You have to fear it, because it's installed and it's wired in you to just become part of your day. Like I don't even think that, oh, I still have another 200 something. It's like I don't even go that route anymore.
Right.
I don't know. I just go.
Yeah.
So I think that they'll get past it once they get long enough on the journey to feel the benefits. But for some people, their brain just maybe can't think that long.
Right.
Goals sometimes they've never met them, maybe.
Right.
And so meeting short-term goals is a little bit easier. So it's kind of fun to look at, I guess, the different way people's brains think. It's interesting.
Exactly. Just the behavior is fascinating. It's just like, okay. 30 years from now.
Yeah. Right. Which doesn't make it wrong, just different, right? Just another way to become a teacher and be like, well, okay, that's true. And just like your journey where you had that one day with your surgery, we had to maybe allow one day and you don't have to start over.
Right.
You know, right? Is that kind of where we left off with that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was like 14 hours. Like I looked at like what the Facebook lives were.
Oh,
I wanted to see how many hours I was, if you want to say, inactive.
Gotcha.
I think it was like 14 hours in between each video. So I'm like, well, technically I was within it, but then I'm like, it doesn't really matter at the same time.
Right.
like who's going to judge that and go, oh no, you didn't go 365 in a row. And I'd be like, I don't think you really get to tell me what my rules are.
Right.
For my life, you know. So
or would anybody? I mean, really, it's honesty. Like I didn't post every day, and they too could come back on me saying, well, what evidence do you have? Because I only posted, 200 of them versus 365 of them. So yeah, it's kind of and honestly and with yourself. And
a person could post every single day. I mean, go to the website, go to the link, post for 365 days in a row and do none of it. Just, you know what I mean? Like, how would I ever know that? They would tag me every day and I'd be like, I'll send you a hoodie for the dedication of going to that link every day. You know what I mean? Like, that's working itself up here. So like, if you bare minimum did that, I'd be like, way to go. Like you dedicated yourself for a few minutes a day to something.
Yep.
By pure osmosis, like it would just sink in somewhere. I'm sure somebody would do something different.
Yeah, you would hope.
So
I mean, just by all the people saying congratulations or I'm so proud of you. I would hope eventually it would wear on you where you're like, well, I should try one of these.
Exactly. So what's your first question? Hit me. I'm really curious to see, because when he said I want to ask you questions, I'm like, whoa, wait, what? Nobody's ever like flipped that on me, because I'm always like, so what are you? You know, it's like, yeah. So hit me.
So I could go anyway, either on the 365 journey or just completing the WODs. For people, for myself, when you are recognizing burnout, when you are going as many reps as you can. On our journey, where we are the second time through, and I feel that you're probably a little bit more fit and you could handle more. So as many reps as possible, you could push your body to a little bit more extreme,
Mm-hmm.
I feel, when you're doing as many reps as possible on some of your WODs.
Mm-hmm.
How do we healthy, or for people that are just starting, how do you recognize burnout or as many reps as possible without taking your body to a point of fatigue, I should say? So I'm kind of looking maybe an answer for new people, but then again, for people who are like myself, who could push and push and push,
Mm-hmm.
but want it to be healthy and make it purposeful. So it's kind of a burnout question, recognizing as many reps as possible as far as burning your body to the point of extreme, I'm there. I can recognize, that's it.
Well, so that's the beautiful part of body weight, right? Like the biofeedback of pain is it. Like as soon as you feel that there's pain, not within the joint, but within your muscle, as soon as you feel that, and this is going to get in the way first, like your mind's going to go, oh my gosh, I'm done. But the cool part of all of these WODs is like that threshold gets pushed every time.
Right.
And you'll notice, like it's just the awareness of what you're feeling. Like if you're cranking out push-ups, your mind will totally tell you at 20, oh, this is enough, right? Or 15, or whatever your number is. But it's as many reps as possible, as many rounds as possible is there, because it then takes that threshold into an unknown.
Right.
And then knowing that, okay, I'm going to keep pushing, and then you start feeling, lactic acid buildup, and that's the burn and stuff like that. But knowing that you can keep going with that pain, and it's completely okay to feel the pain. The no pain, no gain rule, throw that out, but like be aware of the pain as long as it's not in the joint. If it's in the joint, you have to immediately stop, because that you're only doing more damage. Always only doing more damage. So it's being aware of what kind of pain you're experiencing. It's going to hurt. Like if there's chronic pain, it's going to hurt if you do. It's going to hurt if you don't. You might as well do. You will get stronger anyway. So it's just understanding what kind of pain is happening. I guess that's the short answer.
Yeah, and I just to add on to that, for people on maybe not as fit or determined as you, the creator, I think for me is, as I go through the journey, I keep track of, okay, so last time I remember, it's just something that my brain triggers into. I remember as many as possible that I could do 45 of these.
Sure.
And for some reason that's in my brain. And I think when you are mentally healthy, for me, my brain doesn't shut down at 45. It's the opposite. It's like a competition in my head.
Yeah.
We're at 45 now. Where are you going to take your body? And so it just, for me, at my strong point in the morning at 4:15 when I hit the gym, I'm triggered to beat that as many reps as possible. So for me, it's like I can push further, also listening to my body.
Yeah.
But chiropractor, healthy, and my back is great. Now I feel like I can just go. So
that's awesome. So like, that's awesome that you're within the numbers. Like for me, I take it one day at a time. Whereas like if it's like you're as many reps as possible, or the 10 to 40 reps, sometimes there's variability within how many reps I'm suggesting. And I do that on purpose because there are days where I'm not going to get 40 reps. There are days where I'm not going to beat what I've done before, because like the chronic pain in my back, or like my own mindset. Like I have competition with myself, but at the same time I just celebrate the hell out of just getting it done.
Done.
Like really going all out every day. And that's what I think has been with this time finishing, like every single day, is I got 10 reps done. Yes, that was less than before. I just don't care. You know what I mean? Like I got it done. If anybody would be like, well, those 10 push-ups, it's only 10 push-ups. I'd be like, when's the last time you worked out 375 days in a row? Zero. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that many people who have.
No, there's people who track me and they're like, no, there's not. Actually, I don't know of, I would have to say two,
Yeah,
you and I.
yeah. Right.
Really, honestly, that I don't even know of fitness people maybe that would do that. I mean, I'm sure there's a holiday or something that they miss due to flights. So like I was
Right.
even aware on trips that you have to make time for it. And
In,
not that you
in,
have
in
to.
one round. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like it
right.
can be the one round. That's what blows me away the most is like the mirror and the scale mean nothing to me. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like now, or maybe before it
Right.
did, and now it's like whatever. But I walk past the mirror and I'm like, what is that? Like, who is that? But it's one round, like 2 to 3 minutes a day. Who would
Yes.
think that only 2 to 3 minutes a day would make such a massive impact?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Totally. I mean, once your brain is linked into this journey for your body,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any stopping it. I mean, even on a cold day where you have a cold or runny nose, just knowing that, hey, I just have to get up and go to the gym
Right.
and try. Even if you try and you get half of the 10 done, you are still successful.
Exactly.
Because you followed through at least with what your body is telling you, which is to go to the gym, because that's what you normally do at 4:15 in the morning.
Right.
Crazy lady.
Right.
I don't know.
So what a question that it hit me last night. I'm like, what questions do I have? What is a few things or one thing that you couldn't do before? Like physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever it be, that because of this, you're like, man, I couldn't do this before, but now I can.
I'm gonna say setting goals and sticking to them. That, I mean, like a health goal. I've never been successful on a health goal, and now twice I've been successful on a health goal. So that's awesome. As far as physically, push-ups have always been modified.
Yeah.
Now to feel confident in not doing them or built enough strength where I can do the normal traditional push-ups is pretty awesome.
Heck yeah.
Strength, I think so. Upper body, using the strength that I've gained is now enough confidence where I want to complete my next bucket list would be I want to do a Ninja Warrior training, which I'm training for, but I don't want to do a Las Vegas one. I want to do a small scale one.
Sure.
So that's where
Awesome.
my push is now. And I would never, ever do that. And I'm fine if I do it alone. Like, I'm a group person, but this journey has been by myself with you over there.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't need a team of people to push me. It's Sterling, my husband, is there, and he's like, he knows I go to the gym every morning. He's probably the biggest pusher. He would be there, root me on, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a Ninja Warrior. Probably in Colorado, one of them, when I feel ready.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite there yet. As far as strength, I want to make sure that I can do like at least 10 pull-ups and certain things on a minimal scale.
Yep.
And so we have all the equipment to set that up now, because Emery's big into it, my son. So it kind of works out nice. It's something we have in common.
Yeah.
And so I'll be able to do that with him as well. Yeah, so it'll be a little bit of a kid one, but it doesn't matter as long as I can still do some of the stuff, the cargo net and the lifting. We'll have a zip line on it. It'll be outside. I know. So that
get your salmon ladder.
Yeah. I can't wait to stroll my body weight across just even 10 feet.
Yeah.
I broke my arm on the monkey bars because I couldn't hold my weight. And so even face that, to be like, oh, monkey bars don't scare me anymore.
Right.
As an adult, it's really cool. So upper body strength, not having to modify very many. Donkey kicks still get me. I got to do better on them.
Sure.
And then completing goals. Short-term goals are easy for me, but the long-term goals of a health goal, I've never been successful. And so now this is twice, almost 2.5 years. And so for me, I don't know, that probably is something I'll always take with me.
Yeah. So then kind of leads into the next one. How far have you thought about your life in your head? Like, I mean, because like I said, I'm 100, you know what I mean? Like, I think about me being 100 years old a lot. Like I'm reverse engineering that process, going, okay, at 100, what has led me to that? Like, how far have you thought?
Not only thought, but actually coaching, preaching to children, my own like kids that I teach, because they're like, for fitness, for brain breaks, we do a lot of your they too are active, and so they like the different version of squats, and they're like, no teacher has ever been able to teach us how to do squats appropriately, but can do them with us. So when you say let's do 50 of them, there's no teacher who will sit and do that with us. And so not only do I teach them that, but also I'm like, do you understand that if your core isn't with you, that you will end up in a nursing home and you will use a walker? Do you want that? And so to the children, they probably don't get it. But then when I talk to at Bible studies or church with other people, and they're like, why do you do this? And I'm like, because I have a goal of, I never want to end up in a nursing home. And I want to die on this ranch, being able to walk and put in a fence and do my gardening until the day that I'm ready, that the good Lord calls my name. And so whether it's 88 or 100, knowing the genetics that face me, as far as, that there's nothing I can probably do,
Right.
But on the end of my body and my weight and the mental part, because we do fight depression in my family, and I've seen that twice, and I'm like, that's scary to me, because I don't ever want to get to the age of retirement and then have that hit me. I'm going to stay strong mentally, and this is one way for me that is my saving grace, is to give to myself at 4:15 in the morning with something I enjoy doing. I mean, it's like enjoyable. It's not even torture for me. It's do these. I love these WODs. I'm still not sick of them. So I can have longevity in my life, but in a way where I don't have to take pills or arthritis or have all these things facing me. I like don't even think about those. I'm like, I'm not going to have them, because I do these. I'm active. I don't, and I may, but right now in my brain, I won't.
Yeah.
So I have no number of what I'm going to live for, because I feel almost fearless, which is kind of scary, because I feel like, all right, now I'm going to be on a show. Now I'm going to go do a fitness show. I would have never done that. And so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
To be that way. So yeah, definitely. Not only do I think about living a healthy, long life, I'm also talking to others that if you really don't want to have trouble, even my family who's 50, I'm like, you guys have got to get going. My parents, they now go to a gym. My mom and dad in Tabor, South Dakota, they have a little fitness center, and they got a key, both of them, and they go together. And that's because they've watched me do this, and I send them facts every day and try to break it down for them, because they don't have Facebook, they don't have internet, they don't have things.
Yeah.
Just because they too don't want to have us take care of them in a nursing home.
Right.
And this is one way to go about it. So, and I would say I like in my head, I have 88 as a number, but it's also, I'm comfortable coaching about it because I've read your stuff.
Yeah.
Read all the newsletters. So I'm comfortable with talking to people about, hey, start with your core, start with when your body hurts, go, if you want to build they're like, oh, I want a 6-pack. And I just hear you. And I'm like, go to Jed's WODs and go look for some area that you want to work on. And there you go.
Yeah. I'm like tearing up this whole time. I'm like holding back. Like, it just blows me away,
Yeah, this happened because of these. Like, I don't see a psychologist. I don't see a doctor. It's like, this came from myself, driven through these WODs that my sister set me up with through you. And like, they're like, who is this Jed guy? I'm like, that guy I've never met. And they're like, they still, people can't fathom this. I'm like,
Yeah.
I see him online, but I've never actually shook his hand.
Right.
Like, and you give him credit. I'm like, yeah, I'll follow. And now people, they just start believing, and it's kind of cool. It's just,
Right.
you have to want to. You can't make them feel guilty.
Right.
Because guilt does nothing.
I know. It's
so.
You know, John just finished too, and he's here in town. That I've never had anybody finish that I've met. You know what I mean? Like shook hands. So that was cool. You know, and what really was crazy to me was I was like, so what's next? You know, what are you doing next? And he goes, well, I'm just going to start over at 1. And I'm like, why? You know, like, I just figured you'd get tired of it. Like, you don't want to do them anymore. And he's like, well, I feel like the best I've ever felt in my life, so I'm going to do it again. And I'm like, huh, okay. I just didn't think that was possible. You know, in my head, I was like, well, I need to create another year. You know, I need to create something new or whatever it is. And
Right.
I'm going to start over. I'm going to do it and keep doing it. And then I'm like, then what? Do more rounds? He's like, I don't know if I need that. Maybe, sure. But and to me, I'm like, well, wouldn't you want more? But that's just like the ego, right? Like wanting more is like, oh, you just always want more. Why would you need more if you're completely satisfied and like feeling like you're enough? And
Right.
this is enough. And like so many people don't ever feel like, some people go a lifetime without feeling.
No, and that's that too. I think for me has been like, I am who I am, and I am done saying I want to lose 10 pounds. Like, I have settled. Like, this is me. I am going to be 40 and I am fit and I am settling for size medium and large. And I will always have thighs and a butt, but it still doesn't have to be huge, and I can maintain it at the level that I'm at.
Yeah.
But, you know, to have a healthy brain that keeps you going and a body that will keep on a 14-hour day, keep going, and then do it again the next day, and 3 years later still do it. I'm settling. I am not setting any more. Like, I want to drop 20 more pounds. Nope.
Right.
I am happy with who I am. It's like, this is me. This is me on my, I'll tone, and I love toning. But as far as dropping anymore, that is always a fitness goal. And I fail, and I fail, and I fail. That's where I'm like, why do you set yourself up for that? I am done. I am settling at this, and people say you look great, accept it.
Yeah.
Because you finally have to just believe and say, hey, thanks. You know what?
Right.
I for this, and I have earned it.
Yeah.
And I know what I could look like because I see it in my family.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go down that path, but I'm finally going to just be like, I don't want to be a size 10 anymore because I can't. I tried.
Well, in settling, like like people, you're like, oh no, you settled, like, you know, it means you're giving up. It's like, no, you're not giving anything up. You're finally just accepting yourself with so many things happening up here where you're like, you know what, it's my voice now. It's only my voice telling me what I want and what I am, and versus everybody else's voice up here. So by you saying you settle, that's a big deal. That's a huge deal, because there's no more judgment happening.
Right.
Externally, internally, zero. Like you're you, and like now the glass is always full versus just being oh no, this is what I need to do, and I didn't do it. So I'm not going to do anything anymore.
Exactly. And that's what happens. People, I feel, get on a 30-day journey and they get to 15 and they're not full up here. And so they don't meet their goal. They quit. They're like, then what? Then they go search for another diet or another workout plan. Yeah, no more of that. I mean, it is in my gym, in my brain, in my house, being an example for my kids. That is me. You will see it every day, whether I'm on TV or I'm a little peon on the ranch. That is me. It is my life. I have no one to impress anymore but myself, because I am mentally as happy as I am going to get. Like, exactly, the glass is full. That's the best way to put it.
It's amazing. And every day it like I was talking to a coworker of mine, and he's like, every day, right? And I'm like, yeah. Contrary to what many people think, all I do is work out every day, right? Because they're like, you could do more than that. I do more explaining on how little I do versus what they think on how much I do. And I'm like, 2 to 3 minutes. That's what, like, for the last year, aside from now, because now I've added the 10 minutes of cardio, but like that year was literally what you see on Facebook, because it's Facebook Live. That's all the formal exercise that I got. It's not like then I'd go for a run and hit 3 more hours in the gym. It was one round. That was it. In like 3 to 4 minutes, 2 to 3, 4 minutes at most. And I'm like, wow. So finding the least amount of time, like, that's what I want. You know what I mean? Like, right. I want to find the most amount of benefit in the least amount of time. And we can't, for some reasons, as a society, we can't wrap our head around that, because we think we need to be at a gym for like 4 hours or even an hour.
I know. And that's where success doesn't happen. That's where you can't maintain that goal forever. Because sometimes the gym isn't open because of snow on May 25th.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's an obstacle that people, and that's easy to say, hey, the gym was closed, so therefore now what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You don't have clear sources where we're right here and we don't even need equipment. And in fact, sometimes if you really don't have even a phone, you probably know the WODs enough where you could say, well, this is what it would be. And you would make up your own little 10-minute. I mean, there's
exactly
many ways with where I am now in any situation, and probably still be successful.
Well,
and even if I was laying in bed, I could do a leg one, there's so many different things. So
like, I'm finding out more and more every time I do these, and somebody keeps at, not keeps, but when somebody asks me, well, how did you create all of this? Like, this is a year. And I'm like, I think I have gotten to the point. Somebody asked me yesterday, and I said, you know what? At first it was I just need to do something different every day. And now every time I'm thinking about it, it was, where am I not sore today? Like, that's the next WOD. It was like, where am I not sore? Okay, well, what movements can make those parts of my body sore? Obviously not in a bad way, but in a strengthening way.
Right.
And that's basically all it is. It's just, okay, so if this was sore today, well, I'm going to go back here. If my front of the legs are sore, let's go to the back of the legs. Like, that's really all it is. It's just following my body to go, okay, let's go this route, or let's go this route, and then do that, every day. And you're never going to overtrain that, because you're always working, the antagonist movement. So that's the fun part.
Yep.
The overtraining is nearly impossible. Now, nothing's ever impossible, but it's pretty much push-ups. You can crank those out every day. Your body's going to tell you, no, it's not going to happen.
Yep.
This will tell you way before your body, but like, your body will let you know. It's your mind that'll stop you.
And that's very true. I think when people get this far along, they will understand that is the truth. Your mind, a healthy mind, will take you a long ways. Your body will follow.
Yeah.
And you need to listen. If not.
Yeah, and trust the process. Not necessarily like my process, because it's your journey. Like, just trust yourself. That's the fun part.
Yeah. Right. I'm with you. Yes. Another question, or do you have to go?
Well, hit me. Let's see if I can get it real fast.
Hit me.
Like blackjack. Hit me. Because I'm gambling.
So as a creator of these and a finisher of it twice, what's your biggest weakness, do you think, still, as far as for you? Is it time, people, wife, success, money? What's your that you face right now, your biggest weakness?
It is accepting the difference. And so physically I would say, like, is the mirror, like I'm still into self-sabotage some days, where like I am probably the fittest I've ever been today at this very moment. I walk in the mirror and I don't recognize myself. And then I want to go and eat, just a ton of cookies and sugar and drink a lot of alcohol, not just to get drunk, but like just to like completely like sabotage it because I don't recognize it, like this isn't me, because it shouldn't have taken this little amount of time to be this strong or fit or whatever I think I am. Like I haven't accepted it. Like I'm so close to be like, damn, like I look good and I feel good. But the most days of the week I'm there, but I still hit it where I'm like, this isn't me. I haven't accepted it 100%. And then those around me have, like they look at me and go, dang, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes a day. And that's where I know when I fully accept it, that's when everybody else around me will then start to be like, oh, let's do this.
Yes.
Like that's where the bigger picture in my mind that I see it all the time will happen.
Gotcha.
Because I haven't fully accepted it. I want to really bad, and that's where it is. And when I don't want it anymore, that's when it'll happen.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Good. I had some searching last night. My brain was going. I'm like, oh. So, do you have any, like, as far as in your community, do you have any threats that you feel? Do people target you? Do you have other companies, do you have other people that are very similar that you feel could create something close to you?
Yeah.
As far as for free, like, what are your threats that are near you?
Well, I have a direct competitor. I mean, like I am in the belief that if I would tear his business down, I'm only tearing mine down. So, we offer the exact same kind of service, right? Like he does functional training, and it doesn't really have a lot of equipment because he's like, I don't really need a lot of equipment. So I'm like, dude, and that's actually where I'm training right now, is in the back of his studio. So like, direct competitors working underneath the same roof. I hear him do the exact, no, I shouldn't say exact, but a lot of the same, kinds of workouts. He's like, okay, now let's hit some squats and let's do this and let's do that. And I'm like, awesome. So threats, sure. But like, I don't think of it exactly that way, because especially in Roseau, because there's never really been any successful fitness anything, right? That's why I went in right away. As soon as I know he was opening, I messaged him on Facebook and was like, hey, can I train in the back of your facility? It's not really even that big. It's just, a little storefront kind of thing. But because I want people to be successful in this area, especially, I mean, in this world, yes. But if he's successful, then I believe that I'm successful. Like we both will be. Like there's plenty of people will be like, it's such a small town, you can't really be successful. It's like, yeah, welcome to the small mind, limited mind.
Yes. Yes, that is so true.
Like people love choice. Like there are studies out there that say, you put a Holiday gas station here on this corner, put another one in this corner, and people be like, oh no, my business is going to be cut in half. The studies show that the business is doubled because people like choice. It's the same damn store, but they might turn left or they might turn right. They love to choose. So
exactly. Same in education, giving kids a power of choice. That's good.
So zero threats.
That's awesome.
And if people are like taking my stuff and, doing it and saying, well, I created this, I'm like, okay, go for it. If I inspired somebody to become a coach or like do something different with their life and help other people, do it up.
Sure.
Like do it. Like if I did that, that means way more than me versus credit, sure. Is credit due? Maybe, but I don't really care.
Right. Yep.
It's helping somebody else. That's all I care about.
Yeah, that would be true. I guess the ones that, that makes sense. Huh. That's funny. I'm like, no way, man. Don't give me the credit. It's Jed. And if I don't have a question, if I don't know, I'm going to Jed. Like, I don't feel comfortable owning that. That's funny where other people would feel like that. I'm like, wow, that's not my mindset yet, but.
That's the true giver. I mean, that's where I'm like, people are like, yeah, but, they could rip you off and they're going to steal your ideas. And I'm like, they're going to steal push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and lunges. I don't own that. You know what I mean? Like, you own that because it's your body and you're doing it. Yes. Is it like in a somewhat of a pattern? Yeah. Like, but I just followed my body for a year or so, you know what I mean? To create all these movements. Anybody can do that.
Gotcha. Okay, so now that we are in year 3 almost, or a third, I don't know, not even really what's next, kind of like just adding 10 more, and if we finish, great. I don't even know if there's an end. Like, do we get 365, there's an end? Probably not. We'll just keep going.
Right.
Or how do people like you and I, where we are at our almost accepting this is us and we are great, motivate ourselves further? How do we find, other than self motivation, is it people? Like, I'm excited now that there's people in this town of Edgemont that want to do these WODs together. I'm like, yeah, I'll get with you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But for you, the creator, what motivates you at this point? Having a person that you've shook hands with, a person that you haven't. They're out there. Yeah.
It's funny you say that because last night I have that Airdyne bike in the garage, right? And I have the suspension trainer hanging in the garage. What motivates me is I didn't want to do it last night. I was like, ugh. I told myself 10 minutes and suspension trainer and a WOD. So I did the WOD, that was no problem. Now the WODs are like, whatever. That's like the easy part. And then I add on to it and I'm like, yeah, okay, you said 10 minutes. And, and I hold my words as truth and law, right? Like I say that every single day to myself. And maybe that's what it is. If I tell myself I'm going to do something, that's just what I do. That's motivation in itself. Like I don't just say it and then not follow through, because then I'm just lying to myself, and nobody else can hold yourself to yourself, but you can. Like as soon as you take yourself that serious and stop, for the lack of better terms, bullshitting yourself to say, well, I'm going to do this. And then that ego gets in the way. It says, no, you're not. But last night I didn't want to do it. But I carry a backpack wherever I go pretty much. I have my jump rope in there and the suspension trainer. So I had no excuse not to go to the garage, but I didn't, right? So I was like, well, I'm putting my suspension trainer in this doorway and I'm going to jump rope for 10 minutes. And that was way harder, literally way hard. Like I should have just went outside into the garage and done the Airdyne bike and then cranked out whatever I wanted to do on the suspension trainer. Like I had to screw around with this thing to fit in the doorway and like adjust it because it didn't fit in the doorway. And the jump rope was like 10 minutes of jump rope is not easy.
No.
So like if I would have just went to that freaking garage, it would have been way easier to do that, but it wasn't, you know? So it's the fact that I told myself, minimum now for a year, 10 minutes cardio, wherever you are, doesn't matter if you're high knees, it matters zero.
Yep.
But it's the commitment that you make to yourself. Like there is no motivation there's nothing you can watch. It's all in the doing. Like I've done it. We have done a year of one something minimum, and then you set that. Now that's your minimum. Which WOD? The WOD is like, okay, what's the WOD? Great. Now I do it.
Keep track of the numbers. Really, is our biggest hurdle.
Right. And it's like, okay, great, got that done. Now it's the unknown of the suspension trainer, and then 10 minutes because that's a finite number. Like it's 10 minutes. Like you put that.
Doable, but still, yeah. So 12 minutes. You're giving up 12 minutes of your day. You know.
Right. But then that's.
I like the 10.
Yeah, like it's a chunk of time versus the WOD. You can just get done real fast. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do have to get going. Like I'm gonna be late. Like I've never been late.
Good guy, you better. Don't want that.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And then this might be a fun thing to do again. So we'll talk and we'll see what this looks like.
Yeah. See what happens. We just never know, do we?
No.
This is fun stuff. What happens.
Yeah. Cool. Right. All right. Thank you.
Go to work. Happy Friday.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.